Hey, what's up with it, guys? Hey, welcome back to another video. Now, this is going to be specifically going over the Relic Coffer key farm. I've gotten a few questions about this either on stream or just in different videos, and so I figured I would go ahead and kind of make a video just dedicated to this farm specifically to help kind of answer any of those questions. So we started a stopwatch here. We'll see how quickly we get through this. It should be under 9 minutes. Which means it comes out to being under 45 minutes for 5 lockouts, potentially even quicker, depending on kind of how fast you go. But I'll show you guys a couple of the shortcuts that we take to get this done as quick as possible. You can actually also come out the middle entrance here and come around this way, which it's actually a little bit quicker, but you end up having to unlock that first door anyway on your way out. So it doesn't really make a huge difference one way or another. So we run up here, then we go stealth. Also keep in mind, depending on how quickly you start running through, when you reset or when you get to the dungeon, the paths might be in slightly different spots. The fire elementals can do like an AoE pulse kind of thing that could knock you out of stealth, just to be aware of that. It's not a big deal here. You can run out, jump out the window, and stand there and drop combat up here on this ledge. Right there, if something like that does happen in the first initial part of the dungeon. You can also unstealth here at this part as long as you kind of split the middle between the elementals and these dwarfs that are back there. And then once you get to the second row of fire elementals, you're going to want to re-stealth, but this technically does speed it up a little bit as you're not running at a reduced move speed because you're in stealth, right? Now you can also actually kill Lord Incendia, where you just run around the perimeter of this room. I'm not going to do that in this video. I did do that a good chunk of times, and it's okay. I just preferred honestly just get in and get the coffers done, and then hit my lockout and either log off or log on an alt or whatever. But if you're trying to kind of continually do this and not get locked out before 1 hour, you can kill him, and it takes a couple more minutes to kill him. And then you'd have that times 5 runs, so another 10 minutes or so on your lockout timer. Now you see up here on the right, I have a weak aura that tracks lockouts, so you guys could download something like this if you want to. You don't really need it. I don't really watch it all that much, honestly, because I generally, like I said, just run it until I'm locked out and then I stop. So but this is something I just wanted to point out. You guys could get a weak aura for this to track if you're trying to do this and make sure that you don't get stuck locked out of the dungeon. Now on to the keys. So originally people started running this and they were buying keys for 25 silver a piece. On my server, I can pretty consistently get them for 5 silver a piece. So if you think about it that way, we're basically making an extra 20 silver per coffer than people were initially when they were doing this farm. Now you see here I jump through the doorway there and I go over to the right. The reason I go to the right is there's 12 coffers in this room. If you open all 12, it summons the boss. So we only want to summon 11. And we can actually go all the way, or open 11, I should say, open 11 of these coffers. You can actually open the one here on the far right because the dog is a couple levels lower than the humanoid in this room. And if you try and do this on the other side, the humanoid will aggro to you. So you can do this here on the right side, and then you see we're just opening these up, hugging the wall here, and collecting the loot that's inside. Now, some of the things that you'll get out of these every single time are the legal documents, sparkly necklace, false documents, and then you get these sack of coins. Now, the small sack of coins is generally 5 or 6 silver or higher, up to around 15 silver, I believe, is about as high as it goes. And then the large sack of coins is is usually over 1 gold. So for example, we got one here, fat sack of coins, we can open as 1 gold, 1 silver. And then these false documents, you can see legal documents, false documents are 50 change a piece. You can easily get, one of those or even both of those potentially in any of these given boxes, in addition to all kinds of BOE blues and greens in the kind of mid to high level 40 range. So for example, I got Soul Keeper earlier in a run, which is a level 49 or 48 two-handed blue staff, things like that. So they're not insane gold, but each one of those kind of BOEs that you get is another 2 to 20 gold, I would say, on average, as far as added value. So that's something to keep in mind, is you can get all kinds of BOE blues and greens in that mid to high level 40 range. And then we basically just keep coming here around the side. We open up, you can actually open this and it doesn't even look like it looted, and you just start spam clicking the other one and it'll auto loot to you really quickly. A little speed up trick there. But this is the last coffer that we're going to open here. On the left side, you can see the warder is over there, so we don't want to get too close to him. So what you're going to want to do is stand here in the middle of the 2 coffers here, and you need to hug the wall. I'll actually do this with before I open this other door. Is you want to be standing here. If you stand back by this little mark here, or you stand too far over to the left, he will actually aggro to you. So you want to stand here at the wall, and you want to open this up here against the wall so that he doesn't aggro to you. Then we'll open this last one here. We're at 5 minutes right now. So if you did have someone somehow that could reset your runs for you, or you have 2 accounts or something like that, you could be doing these in 5 minutes pretty consistently. You can run either way, really, out of the room. It's important to be aware all the dogs do have increased stealth detection. That the boss dog there doesn't seem to ever be problematic as long as you hug the wall. But as we run out, the bloodhounds, I think they're called, do have increased stealth detection, so make sure you don't get too close to them. Now when we come out the doorway, you see we went to the left hand side. We can jump up here on the rail and drop down. You don't actually take any fall damage here if you're in cat form, so it doesn't knock you out of stealth. You can get to basically the second row of elementals again, unstealth, and then run out. The only thing really that's helpful in this farm, I would say, to increase your efficiency is have move speed to boots. But aside from that, you don't need any specific gear. I don't have improved stealth or anything like that in my talents. And since you don't have to fight any mobs, your gear is completely irrelevant. So you could be a fresh level 60. Whoa, that was almost bad. You can be fresh level 60 and do this just as effectively. Now, these guys generally won't pull, but you don't want to get too overzealous here, and just be patient. I'll go ahead and I can pop the sprint here. You'll have your sprint up once every run, right? If it's taking just under 9 minutes, it shouldn't be problematic. Pack of dogs here on the left, so make sure you don't hug that side too much. And then the last dog we have to get by is back up here on the left on the kind of opening here to run out. So you also want to be aware the fire elementals, like I mentioned earlier, can do like a pulsate AoE. But you want to hug closest to these humanoids so that this guy doesn't aggro. If we get any closer really to him, he'll see us out of stealth. You get to the top of this ridge and then you can unstealth and run out. Now you see here we're at 7 minutes 22 seconds. Now we also got the last thing I didn't talk about is the sack of gems. These are just random kind of lower quality gems. I generally just vendor all of them. Vendor value I would say is around 20 to 30 silver per bag. But since the coffer key initial investment is only 5 silver per, this is still very lucrative. We're at 7.5 minutes on one full clear. We go ahead, just reset, run back in, do the exact same thing. So you can get these done very, very quickly. Like I said, my my preference is to go in, just spam these really fast, hit our lockout, and then we're done for a while. So hopefully this helps you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully you got a couple little shortcuts here, ways to kind of speed up the farm. But this is my favorite farm. It's very low key. You can have something up, watching some videos up on the other monitor, and don't really have to focus too much. And since you're relying 100% on just the vendor value, you don't have to mess with the auction house or whatever prices are on relevant server for you guys, and it's just easy and easy. So anyways, hopefully this helps, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.